And if I'm gonna be dead soon, why take up time, space, money, energy? It's waste. I'll be dead soon. So what's the point of me like progressing my life, getting better, doing all these crazy things, you know, or pursuing my dreams? Like I'll be dead soon, so what's the point, you know? So that's why I was like, okay, I'm okay to die.
If you were told that you had between 5 and 10 years left to live because of a rare form of brain cancer, and that the doctors could do nothing to help you, would you be depressed? And would you be anxious? Well, that's the exact situation my friend Logan Sneed found himself in at the age of 21. Fast forward 6 years later, Logan is still here, healthy as an ox, running a 7-figure business, helping people all around the world, and having a lot of fun doing it. If you struggle with anxiety or depression, or any challenge for that matter, this video is for you. We're going to unpack Logan's story and how meditation played a pivotal role in his healing and also his happiness. But this is not just normal meditation. This is a very special type of meditation that Logan developed over the course of the last couple of years that allows him to live free from fear and overcome his traumas. At the end of this video, I'm going to share this one big idea that I took away from Logan that completely changed the way that I think about meditation.
So March 6th, 2016, I was actually driving to the gym. I was actually FaceTiming my girlfriend at the time, and I knew what I wanted to say on the phone. I was like, hey, how's it going? Like, hope you're doing well. I just want to call you. Today's a great day. And then boom, I started slurring my words. That's when I started having a seizure just out of the blue. I've never had a seizure in my life until that moment. And I drove half a mile unconscious. Ambulance had to come bring me to the hospital. They had to figure out, okay, why did he have a seizure? Yeah, okay, well, let's test him. Nothing that we can figure out. They're like, the only thing that's left is to maybe get a brain scan, an MRI, to see if something's in there for whatever reason. So they give me an MRI, and they basically said, hey, look, there's a mass there. So I talked to a neurologist the next day. The guy said, this is pretty huge. And so he said, you definitely need to talk to a neurosurgeon. Another 24 hours later, I go see a neurosurgeon here in Austin. First word he told me as soon as I met him, hey, good to meet you. This looks pretty serious. By the way, like if we do a surgery here, like you probably won't be able to speak or hear after the surgery, but you know, if you do want to live, like this is something I do think we should be doing, but it's up to you.
Now Logan is faced with the decision. Does he get the surgery and risk losing his hearing, his sight, and his ability to speak? Or does he opt out of the surgery and hope for the best?
I was just done. Like it's just so overwhelming, all within that amount of time, so quick, so fast. It's like your life is going from like on top of the world to now just like complete 180 within 1 to 4 days. I had brain surgery that next morning. Obviously, it's always a life or death situation going into brain surgeries, right? You signed your waivers, they bring in a pastor to come say the prayers, the family comes in bawling their eyes out, and you're just kind of sitting there like, okay. They did remove the full tumor, and obviously I didn't lose my speaking or hearing ability. I was like, all right, cool, like we're good, all good, like problem solved, no tumor, like life goes on, let's freaking kill it. And then, you know, I had to come back like 2 weeks later to get the diagnosis. I didn't expect anything bad to happen. I didn't expect anything like to be serious because logically, I thought, okay, they removed 100% of this whole thing, it's gone. She comes into the room and she's like, hey, look, this is a stage 4 glioblastoma brain tumor. Your life expectancy is 1 to 10 years. Now, the reason we're saying that is because we don't know if you're cancer free. We removed 100% of the tumor, but because this is a glioblastoma tumor, it's completely unknown. You could be absolutely cancer free, tumor free, life goes on, or there still could be traces of the tumor there that we just don't know and we can't see that could end up creating a new tumor one day. So obviously hearing that was absolutely heart-wrenching. I basically was expected to be dead. The doctor said I'd be dead, said you can't do anything. She said we can do chemo, radiation, and that's it. So my dad was like, well, look, is there any diet he could do? Is there any like things he should stop eating? Should he cut out sugar and do X, Y, and Z? And she was like, no, I mean, it's not gonna do anything. Like, you know, chemo and radiation is what we'll be able to do. So he's like, that's it? Like, nothing? And she was like, yeah, that's correct. Like I said, it just won't do anything. He was like, so he can go have some burgers, drink some beers. That won't help him, but that won't hurt him. And she was like, yeah, that's correct. Like I said, chemo and radiation. So I left that room, dude, like I was completely done, like with life in general almost. And if I'm gonna be dead soon, why take up time, space, money, energy? it's waste. I'll be dead soon. So what's the point of me like progressing my life, getting better, doing all these crazy things, you know, or pursuing my dreams? Like, I'll be dead soon, so what's the point, you know? So that's why I was like, okay, I'm okay to die. I almost wanted to. It's not like I ever thought of suicidal thoughts, but that's what came across my mind.
So at the age of 21, Logan is told by his doctors that there's nothing he can do to extend his life expectancy or keep the cancer from coming back. At that point, most people would do exactly what Logan did. They would get depressed, and they would get anxious, and they would want to give up. But luckily, one of Logan's mentors mentioned something to him that might allow him to take back control of his health and of his life.
Probably about 2 weeks go by. I was in chemo, radiation, and I came back to visit here in Austin, and I went paddleboarding out here at the river with one of my good friends, one of my mentors. He said, have you heard of the ketogenic diet? And I was like, no, I never heard of it. What is that? He was like, well, I would look into it because they have a lot of research on potentially either shrinking glioblastoma tumors or preventing glioblastoma tumor regrowth. It's brand new. It does absolute wonders. They found that it actually is the cure for seizures. So we really recommend looking into this. And I was like, okay, well that's pretty sweet. So I looked into it and I literally just went gung-ho, like full throttle the next morning. I stayed up till like 3 a.m. to like study this. What is this? Gonna figure it out. So I did. And that's when I started doing the ketogenic diet. As time goes by, I was seeing results in my body, physically and like, you know, internally with my health and everything, but it didn't fix my mindset.
So the keto diet was working for Logan, and he was seeing dramatic results in his body and in his health. But there was one huge problem that was completely plaguing Logan's existence. He was living in complete and total fear. Fear of not doing everything perfect. Fear of eating the wrong food. Fear of the cancer coming back. And the anxiety was completely crippling him.
I was actually very, very depressed in general because I was so scared of everything. I was scared that if I ate sweet potatoes, I'd be dead. I was scared that if I didn't eat something that was non-organic, I'd be dead. I was scared that if this happened, I'd be dead. So I literally was living life on the edge, but in the way where it's like, I can't do anything wrong and I'm dead. But living in that mindset is very detrimental to somebody's health, emotionally and even physically. So I ended up talking to a GBM survivor who's been fine for 18 years. He did the keto diet for 2 years and then he's just back to regular American eating and he's completely fine. No tumors, 18 years. I was like, so what are you doing? You did the diet, like you're back to like eating regularly? Like what's the deal here? He's like, mindset. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I visualize and meditate on how this is never happening again. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. He's like, this is the number one thing that I really believe that you need to bring into play is the mindset piece. You've taken the step of your diet, your health, you're got a little motivated, you see things you can pursue. Now it comes down to this piece. So one day I was actually on my laptop, or I think it was on Instagram, and I saw somebody's story on how they had like severe anxiety disorder, which I basically had in that situation, to then gone. And it showed the comparison of their brain scan of like the levels of red, orange, and just like inflamed brain before their meditation period to then after, where it was like blue and green, very minimal yellow, to where their brain inflammation has gone significantly down. And when I saw that one little photo, I was like, okay, that literally is my brain right now, and I want my brain to be like this. I always heard about meditation, I always heard about how it was good, but I was like, dude, I can't sit still for 2 minutes. There's no way I'm gonna meditate. Are you kidding me? I was talking to myself, I was like, you gotta force yourself to do it. Like, there's no playing around here. So I did, and I started off doing 2 minutes, then I took it to 5, 10, and then eventually I just never tracked time, and it was like 30 minutes and 45 minutes.
So as he started to meditate, he eventually stumbled upon this special type of visualization that he could do during his meditation that completely changed everything for him.
Every single day, I start with my breath work of like, just simply like lungs in, getting bigger, getting smaller, getting bigger, getting smaller at a very slow pace. And then I meditate a shield around me where it's like, what's the movie, Mr. Incredible, right? Where the character in the movie has the shield around her. I visualize that around me, bubble of shielded energy that nothing can penetrate. And so I visualize myself within my own little bubble, and then I look at my tumor in front of me, right? The tumor was removed from surgery, so the tumor is outside of me, right here. It's not in me. So because I'm looking at my tumor, I'm visualizing, I'm thinking of the tumor. People are like, well, that's bad to think about the tumor. No, it's not, because I'm looking at it, right? I'm facing it. But if I looked at it here, that's bad. So I look at it here, outside of me, and it's not in me, and then the shield's between us. And so I control that tumor now. Doesn't control me. Video or an article, I don't remember, but it was talking about how you want to visualize those things that have been in you, whether it's negative energy, whether it's fear, whether it's sadness, broken heart, right? And another example is a broken heart. If you're somebody who've had a broken heart before and you just felt so lost in your life, visualize a broken heart in front of you, right? Visualize that heart coming out of you, now being in front of you. That broken heart is not yours now. You've got a new heart. When I heard that, I was like, whoa, let me start visualizing my tumor being outside of me, because if I'm looking at it, it's not in me. And so because of that, I've released that trauma, that feeling of fear from my brain, from my body to now be in front of me. I visualize the tumor, I visualize my stress that I've been through, I visualize even COVID. Never have had COVID, not one time. And I've always visualized that. I visualize my seizure. I visualize terrible things I've been through in that journey and in my life altogether. And I look at all these things, right? I look at them all and I kind of like smile at them. This is no like religious thing at all, but I visualize it. And then once I'm kind of done with that moment of seeing those things, I visualize an angel of whatever sort in front of me or above me, and then that angel ends up leashing all those things, all those traumas, the tumor, COVID, cancer, everything, and then whipping it away. And it's away from my shield, and now I'm free. It's no longer there, it's gone. So that's my meditation journey that is literally completely like, I think genuinely made me cancer free for good now.
So by visualizing his fear outside of him, he was able to take back control and release that anxiety from his mind and his body. Oftentimes, the story we tell ourselves about the fear that's inside our mind makes it more stressful than the thing itself. It's easy to replay that movie in our heads, in our minds, of the worst case scenario and repeat that over and over and over again, often drawing that experience to us and manifesting that situation in our real life because we're so focused on what we do not want. So what this does is it flips the script and it helps us make peace with our demons and take back control of the thing that scares us most.
A lot of people fear that sort of meditation or fear that sort of thing, but when you accept it, you grow from it, you release it. And that is what has genuinely been absolutely game changer for me. Super healthy eater, phenomenal health eating, but very poor mentally. Absolutely stressed, literally was thinking about the future times a million, and was obviously thinking about the past times a million, and was never in the present moment. Now I'm at a point where I genuinely don't stress. And I'm going like this because obviously things will come up in life, right? But even when those things do come up, I'm a million times more calm because I'm so much more present moment. And honestly, I look at a problem in life as in, this is life. And it's not that big of a deal. It's really not. I'm no voodoo genius, I'm no shaman here. I literally just make it so simple to dumb it down to make it easy.
So what I've learned after becoming friends with Logan is that it is up to you to take control of your mind and your emotions. And especially when it comes to health challenges, you could do all the right things, but if you don't get your mind in the right place, then nothing is going to work for you. It is my belief that there is no separation between the mind and the body and the body and the mind. So when we take control of the mind, then we also take control of the body. And vice versa, when we take control of the body, we also take control of the mind. Because at the end of the day, either it's going to control you or you are going to control it.
When I live in the moment, for example, I'm sitting in my couch, I'm looking out the window, dead silent, and I've got these simple meditation sound, and I'm looking at all these cars. You know what I'm thinking about? I'm like, man, I think everyone's just trying to figure it out. COVID's going on, politics going on, war, future, Bitcoin, Meta, things are going on, right? It's always gonna happen. But in reality, everybody, okay, I don't care if you're Zuckerberg, if you're president, everybody is simply trying to figure it out. And when you look at it like that, I'm like, wow, this makes my journey fun because that's the truth. It cuts out the ego, it cuts out the stress, it cuts out the fear, it cuts out everything, just makes the moment way more fun, way more enjoyable.